Hello everyone, tonight we had the release of the Living Tribunal in Marvel Snap, and in Marvel lore, he is one of the biggest, baddest, one of the most powerful beings ever. And does that relate to the game? We don't have anything else to play this turn, so I'm going to play the Adam Warlock. Maybe we can convince him to play some cards that'll stick over there. Oh no, the Moon Knight discarded our Living Tribunal. How rude. All right, let's see what happens. We're gonna send it. Okay, so the Hulk comes down. The Wasp in the right lane is something I was kind of worried about, but can this give us that little bit of extra boost in that right lane to overcome it? It does not. Oh no. We're gonna send it though. The Apocalypse is gonna be big. The 16 power Apocalypse. It could have been much bigger. That's not their highest high roll. Okay, so Omega Red does still pull over into Astrodem, which is unfortunate, leaving our Nexus location really, really small in general. Oh no, this is going to be really lackluster now, right? Okay. No, not really. So the Living Tribunal is very much an all-in card. It is an all or nothing. However, a lot of times by splitting your power 3 ways, your opponent may only invest into 2 locations, and now what you could have won with 1 power, you now have 14, and the 14 you have remaining in the other 2 locations is nowhere near enough to be able to win. And so then you start looking at all of these combo-driven decks that really pump out some crazy, absurd numbers. I'm thinking like the Black Panther builds, like the Ironman, Onslaught style build, and even those are just okay. They're not great. And this is one of the decks that it took me the longest to create this video for, because I was brewing and I would get a couple of wins, and I'd lose a couple of really big ones, then I'd lose a couple more, and a couple more, and a couple more. And I kept trying different decks. I tried about 5 different decks, and I went negative on every single one of those. So to put a disclaimer umbrella, this is more of a fun card. I had some people ask, the Living Tribunal or High Evolutionary. High Evolutionary is all over the ladder, all over the top charts. Whether that be Control, Lockjaw, regular High Evolutionary, he's really, really solid. And so if that is your debate, if that's your hold, definitely go High Evolutionary. The Living Tribunal, maybe somebody will be able to crack him eventually, but right now he feels super mid. And the best deck that I was able to put together for him was like an ongoing ramp style deck, something that leveraged Invisible Woman, Ebony Maw, along with like an Ironman, potentially an Onslaught, your Living Tribunal, and it also used Adam Warlock as a way to draw or help guarantee that you draw into your Living Tribunal or those key pieces earlier so that you can make sure that you have what you need at the end of the game to try to get your combo to go off, but even that one's very mid-range. Something higher range like a Black Panther, and some kind of ramp deck that uses like the Wong, Black Panther, Arnim Zola, Living Tribunal, or a negative that hits that high roll, it's going to put out more power. But this one looks to do it consistently, and even that is kind of so-so. Let's go ahead and jump over into a couple of games. The card itself is really fun to use. It's just not that effective. Let's go ahead and jump over into a couple of games. All right, next up we have Goose. They're running a Thanos list, okay? So we have the Invisible Woman and the Ebony Maw. We could either use that as a consistency driver for Adam Warlock, or we can use it as a way to do on 3. We can do Invisible Woman, Ebony Maw, into an Iron Man, into a Living Tribunal, which would be quite a bit of power, especially being in the Nidavellir location. And so that is what we're going to be aiming to do here. Then we get the Living Tribunal. This is like the most ideal line that we could have asked for. Now we could technically skip here. We don't have to play the Invisible Woman into this lane on this turn, but I'm going to. We might be able to sneak out an Adam Warlock on 3 into mid and give us 1 additional card draw, but we don't need it. We're not going to be going with the ramp component this game. It looks like we're just going to go with just a raw point slam. So we get Super Scroll, so we can take any of their ongoing abilities as well if we need to. All right, let's lock in the Ebony Maw. And maybe we drop Super Scroll into the left lane. We don't have to play Living Tribunal in the lane that we're intending to stack all of our power. It's just that kind of consistency piece. And with this having +5 to everything we have there, I think it's going to be fine. They're going to have things like Reality Stone, like Luke Cage. Let's definitely go with the Super Scroll. Next turn, we'll go Iron Man and then Living Tribunal. I think that should be enough to win us the game. Ooh, so they do a Spider-Man into the Nidavellir location. Ooh, that's not fantastic, but it's not terrible either. Like, it's not the worst thing that could have happened. So I think they're going to Professor X lock this lane, which is perfectly fine because we're going to spread out our power across the board. We can do Iron Man into Living Tribunal. As long as they don't have an Enchantress, I think we're okay. They do get the Professor X lock, so I think they're thinking we're going Hella. And we're definitely not going the Hella route. Oh man, are we not going the Hella route? I don't know if we win this one or not, but we're just going to send it. There's no way that we cannot send this one. Let's do the Living Tribunal. It will get the extra power from Xandar, the multiplication from Iron Man, and then all of this Nidavellir location is going to mitigate and spread, giving us a much better chance, I think, of winning here and here. The only issue being that Throne Room, they could throw a Thanos. They could throw something really big there, and it becomes really hard to overcome. So they do a Viper, which sends us the Reality Stone. Okay. The Power Stone. And then the Space Stone. Oh, really? Is this an Enchantress? No, it's a Titania. Wait, what are they doing? We'll take it. We'll absolutely take it. We're going to have the Titania bounce to our side. We're going to have our cards in Nidavellir reveal, and so we're going to win. I don't know, guys. This feels, I don't know. We'll take it. We will take the win. I don't know how to feel about this one. Like, this one was definitely helped along with the Nidavellir location, giving us that extra 15 power to spread into these two lanes. It feels like it's going to be fun, but I don't know how impactful it's going to be, because if you get your Invisible Woman locked out, you have to just hang your ongoing abilities out in the open, and that doesn't feel great. So we're going to go ahead and take the 4 cubes. We're grateful for the 4 cubes. Let's jump over into the next one. All right, next up we have Cool Heron. The first location is Onslaught Citadel, which is amazing. If we can get Invisible Woman, then we get the Claw. That's going to be putting 12 power here. If we hit Onslaught, that's huge as well. And then we get our Adam Warlock, which the reason that we have Adam Warlock in this build, ideally we would have Invisible Woman already in our hand. But since we don't, we can do Ebony Maw plus Adam Warlock on just any given turn and get benefit from it. So I'm not going to give them the heads up. I'm not going to give them the heads up that we're going to play Adam Warlock. If we draw Invisible Woman, that's a little bit unfortunate. Ooh, okay. It's interesting. Kind of. We get our Onslaught. So Claw and into an Onslaught is massive power. I would really like to draw into our Invisible Woman. That would be huge. That way we could start hiding those ongoing abilities that we have. We'll see. We'll see what it works out as. So they have the Thor playing Mjolnir into Bar Sinister, playing their Hulk. I'm assuming that this is a High Evolutionary Jane Foster Lockjaw deck, which is very solid. Very, very solid deck. We'll see. We'll see if we can make it happen. Okay. We can do 4, 5, 6, potentially. I don't think they're going to have an Enchantress. They could. We could also do Wave here so that we can get the Onslaught out early, so we have the chance to do Onslaught or Onslaught and Living Tribunal. But it's also on turn 5. Then we wouldn't really be able to do much. We're going to go ahead and do the Onslaught. I don't think Wave on 4 is ever going to be the answer. Okay, so the Lockjaw, the Wasp rotation, which is big. They're going to be able to hurt our cards a touch. They do flip into Mjolnir, so they can hit it with an Odin, but that's going to be about it. I thought about doing a Super Scroll to copy their... Oh, wait. Of course, our cards move. To copy their Hulk's ongoing ability, but I'm not sure if that's the right play or not. We still didn't draw into Living Tribunal. We have 2 cards left. The only other card that could have been drawn in this game is Living Tribunal up to this point, because Chavez won't draw until turn 6, even if forced by like Adam Warlock. So we're going to go Claw into the left lane, and then we'll see. They are going to draw back out their Wasp, but they'll have a free rotation, and then they can drop something really big in Bar Sinister. Doesn't feel great. something like Living Tribunal here is not huge for us. But if they do just the Hulk, if they do the Hulk and the Wasp here, then they have to choose either here or here. We might be okay. I'm just going to stick this one out. They haven't snapped, so if this is the Hulk, that's fine. We're going to push to win the left and the middle location. With the... Okay. No. Rude. That's rude, sir. Rude. And that is going to be one of the biggest downsides to the Living Tribunal. If you don't have your things out early, you're just going to be able to be potentially hard countered by an arrow. So that was a bad flip. We will take our loss. That is going to be the realistic potential of a Living Tribunal deck. Whether it's a Mr. Negative, whether it's a Hella Resummon, whether it's a ramp style deck, they're all going to have potential bad rolls. And so it's going to be like a combo deck, like an all or nothing deck, which usually never makes its way up to like A tier, even B tier most of the time, because it is so contingent on getting that playoff. If the opponent has some way to stop you, they derail your entire game line. So we're going to go ahead and take the 2-cube loss. Let's jump over into the next one. All right, next up we have Wino, and let's see if we can take Wino for a few cubes. We have our Adam Warlock. If we can draw into Ebony Maw, we can do the combo that I was talking about last turn that got disrupted by Bifrost and Bar Sinister. If we draw into Ebony Maw, then we can do Invisible Woman on 2, and then the tandem duo of Ebony Maw plus Adam Warlock to get additional draw on 3. We can actually do an Ebony Maw into Asteroid M and get additional reach that we wouldn't be able to otherwise, because our cards will bounce back over in that direction. All right, let's go ahead and do Invisible Woman into the last location. It's either that or play it into Asteroid M, and then we're not able to do something like Electro Wave without it getting sucked over into the Asteroid M, into the Invisible Woman location. And so we're going to gamble in this last lane. They have a Morbius. Okay, so this is a discard deck. Can we outpower a discard deck? Because they're usually pretty good about putting out a lot, like about pumping out a lot of power. So let's go ahead and we're going to do Electro. Next turn we can do Iron Man and then Onslaught, a double Iron Man, double Onslaught, double Claw, double Living Tribunal ideally. And so yes, they're going to get a lot of discards. And Wino want to play. Let's jump over into the next one. All right, next up we have Ere. The first location is Onslaught Citadel, which is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and skip on the first turn. We have an Ebony Maw, which is going to be phenomenal. Just at playing early. The Claw is decent. We have Electro, so we'll be able to ramp into like a turn 4 Iron Man, a turn 5 Onslaught into the Living Tribunal if we end up drawing that. But I don't know. I'm still not sold. Is it still going to get rather clunky rather quickly? So if they have an Enchantress, we're just kind of at their mercy. And so let's go ahead and go with the Electro. We do draw into our Onslaught. So if they don't have an Enchantress, then we can just win. But we also don't have this lane protected with something like the Invisible Woman. So it makes it really difficult to snap aggressively or play it aggressively, because you very rarely know if you're going to have that win locked in. And so let's go ahead and do the Iron Man on 5. We can then do Onslaught, Living Tribunal. That's going to give us a crap ton of power in the Onslaught Citadel lane, and then that will propagate across. Oh, so the Spider-Man, are they going with a Professor X lock? If so, this is the like rare scenario where you do decently into a control heavy style build. So they snapped. They could easily have an Enchantress. I'm just hoping that they don't. So the Professor X lock, I assume, in Weir Island comes down. Okay, we can deal with that. The 448 power and plus some with the Living Tribunal is going to be what sends this game for us. We're still susceptible to an Enchantress. We're gonna send it and just hope that they don't anticipate the Living Tribunal coming down. That's all we can do. Like there's nothing else we can hope for. A rogue would potentially steal our Living Tribunal away. Ooh, they stack into mid, which is perfect. So just a cool, casual... some 280... This is a cool, casual 281 power in all 3 lanes. Okay, it's getting a little... I think we broke it. Oh, no. Well, all right. So their Valkyrie brought us down to a cool 280 in each lane. And then Muir Island keeps us still at 280. We will take the 4 cubes. It's one of those that it's going to be a fun combo deck. It's going to be great in like Mr. Negative builds to give that surprise element. It's going to be good in some kind of, and sometimes in like Hella builds. But all of these builds that it fits into really well are very situational. We'll take the 4 cubes. We're gaining cubes because they're bigger cube games, but it's still very, very risky. And so we're going to go ahead and take the 4. Let's jump over into the next one. All right, next up we have Yo Woody MJTTV. The first location is Onslaught Citadel, which is beautiful. We've seen that several times tonight, which is not standard. Like, this doesn't pop up all that often. And then we do get, we have Ebony Maw, we have Adam Warlock. Not that we really need to present that power. I'm going to go ahead and do the Adam Warlock into the open. Maybe we draw Invisible Woman on this next turn. That's what we're hoping for. Titan also allows us to play both Onslaught plus Living Tribunal, which is insane. We do get the Invisible Woman. Huge for us. We can now do an Omega Red into a Living Tribunal, into ideally like an Ironman or an Onslaught. I think I would rather an Ironman, honestly. That's going to make this lane just absurdly large, which would make sure that our Omega Red triggers, and then our Living Tribunal, of course, is also going to trigger. And so I'm not going to snap here. I want to play this one out for you guys. The Iron Lad comes down. It's a Morbius discard deck, but I'm curious. Maybe it's a Hella deck. Invisible Woman. Yeah, it probably is a Hella resummon deck, which is okay. We are okay against the Hella resummon here. I'm going to go ahead and do our Iron Man into the Onslaught Citadel. And then after that, it doesn't matter if they have Arrow or anything that's going to pull our card around. It won't matter at that point. And so as long as our high roll can beat theirs, then we're perfectly safe here. Let's go ahead and go with the Living Tribunal. And I think we have this locked in. I think it's going to be like a cool 200 power per lane or something silly like that. I'm guessing MODOK and Hella. And then we're going to just slam home some silly amounts of points. It's one of those that when it works, it works. Like Onslaught Citadel really helps elevate this deck, especially if they don't have a counter tool to it. What if they do? Wait. Only 26 power? We're going to lose. No, we won. My play sucked, but yours did too. It's one of those that we didn't win because we deserved to win. Like, this is doubling down on the Iron Man 2, which is sad, right? Is that doubling down on the Iron Man? This is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14, yeah, I guess 14 is not much power. You're right. Goodness. Okay, well, we will take the not so great win. And that's where we're going to go ahead and end the video. That has been my night, you guys. I've tried a Hella build. I've tried a Hella build. I've tried a Mr. Negative build. I've tried a ramp deck with like a Black Panther and a Wong. I tried a control version. I've tried so many different builds, and this feels the most solid, but even that feels very, very brittle and very easy to break. If the opponent has like a Cosmo, sometimes that breaks you. If they have an Enchantress, sometimes that can break you. An Arrow can definitely hurt you, and then you're just susceptible to card draw as well. And so we're going to go ahead and take the 2 cubes. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think of the Living Tribunal in the comment section down below. Do you guys have any builds that you think are just phenomenal that maybe I overlooked? If so, let me know. I would love to try them out. And as always, this has been TLSG. Later, guys.